What about the evil of power, abuse, and enslavement of masses? It's not just a decision of the individual, is it? Power over another person is an intoxicating experience. Power over masses of people is even more so, corrupting absolutely. To the lower register of human nature, such a high is an addiction like no other. Its corruption extends in both directions, outwardly and inwardly, making the power seeker both empowered by and dependent on it simultaneously. It's an addiction in full circle, very hard to resist and even harder to let go of once experienced. Evil always has an element of addiction, something you wish to overcome or ignore but cannot. I noticed you refer to evil as a lower nature. In our understanding of evil, it's often portrayed as the opposite of good, like the devil on the left shoulder and the angel on the right. You don't see it like that? No, I don't see them as equals because they are not. Those two polarities, though essentially opposing each other with contrasting intentions, are not on the same level. Self-serving intentions, regardless of the cost, which is what evil is, are fed by basic human nature. Imagine dividing the human body into two halves, with a line through the middle at heart level. The lower half gets empowered by the basic energies of survival, procreation and digestion, corresponding to the red, orange and yellow chakras, respectively. These are primarily reflections of reptilian, red, Orionian, orange and Sirian, yellow DNA channels, originally meant to ensure human survival and adaptability. The most evil people are often driven by survival, dominance, spreading their DNA, or serving egoic desires for recognition and power. These aspirations are directly connected to the lower human chakras. Imagine a human as a pyramid. The widest and heaviest blocks represent the three foundational layers of survival, procreation and digestion. As you progress higher, the blocks become narrower and lighter, culminating at the highest point of the seventh chakra, projecting human energy into the universe. The higher portion of our being is responsible for loftier goals and aspirations. It uses the energy of the foundational lower chakras to empower higher vibrational states within the body. When balance is achieved, this energy activates and illuminates both the soul and the body simultaneously. It creates a purity of passion, expressing beautiful and benevolent impulses with ease and joy. So, you see, evil is simply a lower expression of good. It can be seen as an immature state, where maturity hasn't yet been reached. The potential for advancement and harmony has not been achieved. Evil can lead to pain and suffering, but it's important to recognize it for what it truly is, an incomplete state of development where the soul is unwillingly trapped. Because freedom is always open for growth, development and expansion. Energy that is forced to be stuck and restricted remains deprived of development, a state of deficiency and starvation, a state of enslavement. The choice to ascend to higher states of joy, creativity, empowerment and true freedom must be made, living through the energy of the heart. Evil makes the choice not to ascend because it knows once the heart's energy is opened, the lower nature loses its power. The only way is up, and only by letting go of addiction to self-serving can one find true peace and happiness, which is good. Temptation is an invitation to bondage. Anything that compromises your freedom and self-belonging stems from deficiency and addiction, and that is what it drags you into. Consider the temptation of infidelity. Is it about love, joy, and freedom? Not at all. It's bondage to desire. The root of temptation is a belief in your own deficiency and limits. The trade-off for fighting this deficiency is peace of mind, your current family, and ultimately your dignity. Chasing after inadequacy and proving your power will never bring true satisfaction. You become trapped in a circle of addiction. Temptation is not something external luring you to the promised land. It's your inner false sense of deficiency and worthlessness. Why is evil connected to suffering? Why didn't our star parents disengage evil? Wouldn't it be more caring to teach us through love and compassion instead of causing pain through the presence of evil? Our history is full of recollections of evil deeds causing mass suffering and death. It's sad to see how nothing was done to prevent those events. Evil and suffering are not the same, though suffering might result from evil, and evil often causes suffering. The intergalactic community is concerned about the evil side of humans, fearing it as a unique and potentially dangerous trait. Frankly, they would rather humans endure suffering due to evil deeds and come to the realization that this is not the way, rather than eliminate evil altogether and risk harboring a hidden danger that could threaten other cosmic species and intergalactic safety. It's a significant responsibility. Currently, human nature is quite unpredictable, lacking consistent rationality and emotional balance. Nonetheless, there is positive progress. Only a millennium ago, actions like killing, abducting, and destroying were more the norm than the exception. Now, humanity is evolving. There are fewer evil deeds and more karma is being cleared. There is hope for humanity. Good is winning. Why is good associated with light and evil with darkness? Is it literal? Yes, it is quite literal. On the scale of frequency, pure light represents the highest form of energy, while darkness signifies the absence of light, or the lowest energy form. If we compare the human body's pyramid to a chart of darkness and light, the lightest area would be at the top, the seventh chakra, and the darkest at the bottom, the first chakra, forming the foundation. Light doesn't naturally penetrate this area. Only by developing through the entire spectrum can light be spread throughout the energy field. This comparison, while simplified, is illustrative of the concept. Light generously radiates to everything around it, whereas darkness absorbs and conceals. Often, darkness implies secrecy and lack of visibility, unlike what occurs in the light. This is accurate. The lower nature thrives on secrecy and covertness, insisting that deeds stay hidden from the light. This is always an indication of the presence of evil. Goodness requires no conspiracies, secrecy, shadows, or smoky mirrors. Let the light shine through in all that you do. Be the light.